Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone out there in YouTube land or in Facebook. Just greeting you to this awesome day where I'm going to be talking about the June frequency forecast. And as I usually tend to say, there's a lot of information to pack into a short amount of time. So go ahead and pop on. Let me know where you are tuning in from. Let me know what you are drinking this morning. I've got my coffee cup in my Sasquatch Bigfoot mug. So good morning. Good morning. Hello, Leanne and Donna. Hi, Jennifer from YouTube. It's always nice to see people tuning in from YouTube. Last year at this time, we might just have one or two kind of pop on, and now we're starting to have many, many more. So hi, Catherine. Oh, thank you. Rebecca Fountain saying, my aura is gorgeous today. Well, I will tell you, my aura has felt gorgeous, and it's felt gorgeous because in this June, I don't know. Every time we go through these things, I think I couldn't get more excited about this expansive awakening that we're going through, that these new levels of consciousness that are coming together. And for me, especially as an Aquarius, really loving that the unity consciousness of bringing communities together and knowing that we are always stronger together than we ever were apart. So hello, Taz, Jasmine, Jackie, Wilma, Annette. Hi, Warrior Girl. So let me get started because it's a lot of information, but what I'm most excited about is I get to talk about it all month long because we're going to be having, of course, our big summer solstice group reading event to really celebrate everything that I'm going to be talking about today. So my name is Nancy Rebecca. I am a registered nurse. I've been working as a psychic medium and teacher for about 28 years now. One of my big specialties is teaching intuitive development, professional psychic development at really high advanced levels with high levels of accuracy. So that's what's been really exciting for me. What's even more exciting for me in regards to teaching and intuitive psychic development is I've known for almost 15 out of that 28 years that our earth was going to be going through, humanity was going to be going through an enormous transformational awakening where people would start waking up to their intuition and their psychic abilities, and all of a sudden it would become mainstream and we would no longer have to go down into dark alleys and back rooms to be able to talk about our abilities, that we could just bring it out in the open. So I'm super excited to have a lot of company. That's going to be happening a lot more, but this month of June especially, we're going to be getting those real kind of cosmic power hits that are really going to be activating our pineal, which activating your pineal activates your third eye, activates your clarity, activates your intuition. I mean, all of those good things. So what I'm going to touch in today, we have more coming on. Hello, Nancy and Virginia. So what's coming through more today is look on the talk. Okay, galactic core. So I know Rebecca Fountain's going to be thrilled about this. She's been writing me like she's just freaking out about how incredibly awesome this is. I'm going to tell you what I know about the galactic core. I could fit on the head of a needle. The great attractor is really a big deal. All I can tell you is that this month of June, it has this enormous galactic feel to it. So that's all I can say. So the galactic core, the great attractor. On June 4th, we're going to have that full moon into Sagittarius. That's why the galactic core and the great attractor are really kind of coming out from behind the curtain and really showing their face. And the reason why I say this is because Yvonne is a Sagittarius. I don't know how many Sagittarians are there. I can't even tell you how many years she's been talking to me about the great attractor. And my eyes just kind of glaze over because it just seems so big. You have to, I'm like even though I'm an Aquarius, I have a lot of planets in Capricorn, which is a very earthy, very, very practical sign. So the great attractor is like, what kind of practical application does that have for me and what I need to cook for dinner? So it's kind of, that's where my mind has been. But now that's changing this month. June 11th, Pluto moves back out of Aquarius. So do you remember, for those of you in the spring equinox, there was this huge portal that opened. There was this movement of Pluto out of Capricorn that had been there for like, I don't know, 20 years. Don't hold me to it, astrology buffs out there. And then moving into Aquarius. So there was that structure moving into greater freedom. Not neglecting the fact that we all have our light and shadow sides of Capricorn and of Aquarius. So I will mention that. But I tend to lean a little bit more to the positive side. So I'm always going to talk about the positive aspects. All right. So it's a big deal now that that happened in the spring. So we got a little taste of freedom. Do you know what that's like? Do you remember when you were a teenager or you were moving into adulthood and you finally got that taste of freedom? You maybe got your own apartment and all this stuff. And then suddenly you have to move back into your parents' house again. And suddenly you're trying to fit this expanded state of freedom and being your own adult and having your own mind and your own clarity. And now suddenly you got to move back into the basement studio apartment and be under the roof of somebody else's rules and regulations. So that's kind of what it's like here, where it's like, oh no, I just had this taste of freedom. But what's happening here is when you move back into Capricorn, you are already in that expanded state. So you're not going to be able to kind of shrink yourself back into the old rules and regulations that you have, but you're bringing your new light into the rules and regulations to have a higher form of consciousness, to be able to look at those structures. Maybe you could call them limiting structures, or you can call them supportive structures. So you can look at them with a new light, with a new set of eyes. And I always say, rules and regulations are not a bad thing. When I lived in South Africa, when I would ask them, why do you love America so much? Why do you want to come to the United States? Like we're kind of messed up a little bit. And they said, because you have rules and laws to keep people safe. And they said, in some countries in the world, they don't have those type of rules and laws to keep people safe. So there is somebody saying on Facebook, my astrologist says it's all about having good containers. Absolutely. You want to have good, healthy containers. So, all right, warrior girl, she's saying, please hit the like button, hit the love button, share. So I will speak that out loud, warrior girl. Okay, I have so much to say. All right, so huge potential for an increase in chaotic energy. I think we've gotten used to chaos. Have we gotten used to chaos? Chaotic energy as justice battles to prevail. So yes, your frequency relationship with money. I've been talking about this last month. Money, abundance, your ability to create quickly is all happening in the background, all the while humanity's capacity to telepathically know what each other is thinking before you even say it is becoming much more fine-tuned. Okay, however, I'm all about talking about the frequency. So yeah, we're being influenced by all these planets and this movement and galactic core and the great attractor and our neighbor, or our sweet little new puppy that I have, Sadie. So we're being impacted and influenced by those frequencies because frequencies are sound waves. They're plasma type flow. There's different wave forms. There are light codes, and all these are definitely influencing us. So you might just want to stay tuned to what are you willing to be influenced by, but also how are you influencing others? Yeah, that's going to be so in your face this month. How you're influencing others and how you choose to influence others. And to start realizing you have a bigger impact on your community than you might think that you do. And so I'll be talking about that too. Oh my gosh. I'm like, oh my gosh, I still have so much to talk about. Wave particles have different strengths and weight that also shift consciousness in big and small ways. Choosing which wave you wish to ride is going to be important minute by minute. Choosing ease over complexity, I would highly recommend. It's like, okay, how can I approach this with ease? All right. So this month of June, humanity is really being influenced, as I said, by the galactic core and the great attractor. What do I mean by that? We are opening to the consciousness. Okay. Let me see how I can say this because on my paper, I didn't write it right. We're opening to the consciousness of more than our small universe that spins around you, your home, your work, your friends, and family. So how many of you get caught about, oh, what auntie's doing, what uncle's doing, what your kids are doing, what your spouse is doing, what so-and-so's doing at work? Like, that's what I call that small little universe. So that's where we've been living. That's where we're no longer going to be living. You won't be able to just focus on your small little world. Why? Because that portal that opened up in the spring equinox and the influence of the galactic core and the great attractor is really flooding through. So that smallness is not, you're going to start to really awaken. And I know many of you already are. There's a bigger world out there, that you are one small part of a massive kind of universal consciousness. So before, it would have kind of felt like you're reading it in a book, like just it's flat, it's just 2D, where now there's this robustness that's coming through of that full consciousness where it's like, whoa, I am a bigger part of things that are going on. And then all of a sudden, the little small things in your life feel so hollow and so insignificant. This is the big kind of leap we're making here in June. So, you'll hear me often say, it'll spill over into next month or next year. It's not like we're going back. It's not like a door's opening and closing. It's like we're just all moving together on this kind of moving sidewalk into that greater consciousness. I'm excited. We've talked about it for a long time. Pushing your weight around has felt all powerful, is what Spirit told me. Pushing your weight around as a human has felt all powerful, but now begins to shrink under the vastness of the larger universe, potentially feeling small in a massive solar system, but more than that, the galaxies. So I wrote in my notes, never in a million years, never, I promise you, and everybody around you can tell you, I would have never been, I never thought that I would be talking about galaxies and galactic cores and great attractors and star beings and being influenced by, I don't know. I don't even know. So never in a million would I've guessed. This is the influence of Sagittarius, which is the adventurous. So remember, we're going into the full moon in June 3rd or 4th, according to Pam Gregory, depending on where you are in the world. But that's that Sagittarius, hugely adventurous, hugely kind of massive at that galactic level. That's always, so Sagittarians are always trying to bring it, like harness it and bring it down to earth. This is what you all are going to be doing. So how might this impact you? Because to me, this is how I am. It's like you can have your head in the clouds. You can be thinking of heaven. You can be meditating, with the archangels and ascended masters, but how much worldly good are you? So I'm always trying to bring it back to the practical aspects of being in a human body, because our bodies they're going through a rough time. They need a lot of love right now. Our bodies need a lot of love. So This enormous cosmic force of light has opened up as if there's a higher electrical surge that is starting to pulse through you. Now, it's happening right now. It really started kind of happening lightly at the beginning of May. And then as we have this full moon moving into Sagittarius, it's going to get stronger. Your pineal, this is the part that I found the most exciting. What Spirit told me was that the pineal it's always been getting activated, but this is like a big, like somebody took the French doors and just flew them open. And there's this gorgeous sun and the water and vacation spot. And what do they call those? Infinity pools. It's kind of like that, where it's like, just all of a sudden, just things start opening up to greater clarity, because that's the pineal for you. This light is also pouring over your feminine divine channels. When was the last time I talked about the feminine divine? So we talked about it 10 years ago. The feminine divine's coming, the feminine divine's coming, the feminine divine's coming. And it's like, and then we haven't really talked a lot about that lately. But this month of June, Spirit is showing me this flood going right into your female channels. So let me just talk about that a minute. This light pouring over the feminine divine channels is massively healing in June here, starting this process, historical female traumas of the past and the current. Justice is starting to finally have its time on the world stage and in the courtroom when it comes to the feminine divine. We're really starting to see this play out in the news. So this bright light, I call it like an LED blinding light, is surging through the female channels, dismantling, disintegrating ancestral historical traumas. Now, let me insert here, men and women have female channels. Women have male and female channels. Can you imagine what it must have been like, hundreds of years ago or thousands of years ago, when things were really violent, and to see your mother being hurt or harmed as a man, or to see your sisters being hurt or harmed? Yes, there are men who inflicted hurt and harm, and there are women who were nasty to each other way back when, and competitive and hurt and harmed. All that kind of trauma we cause is starting to really dismantle and disintegrate, so that we can tap into the purity of the feminine divine, which is a really, really light frequency, but mighty. If you think about, in the Grand Canyon, and is it the Colorado River that goes to the Grand Canyon? It just started as this little trickle just running along the canyon, and then it just created, just moved right through all that rock, created this enormous canyon. This is what the feminine divine is like, but it's going to be healing the old trauma for men as well. So I just wanted to be able to mention that. And I wrote, cutting through harsher energies such as corruption. So psychic abilities are going crazy right now, as everyone is rapidly opening and awakening. And I write, I think I need to take a breath. When I've been writing this, like, I'm over the moon excited. I've been waiting a long time, and I know there's a lot of you have been waiting a long time for this shift to happen. So, okay, psychic intuitive abilities are going crazy right now as everyone is rapidly opening to their senses, their high-level senses. Hardcore critics, doubters, and skeptics will start to lose steam as their experiences are challenging their belief system. So, yeah, probably your biggest critics, they just might need a little support as they're eating their words. Anyway, that's definitely going to be happening over the next several years. In fact, all belief systems are being challenged right now because Pluto's coming back into Capricorn, assisting us to kind of pick up that broom and start sweeping out the old remnants that you cleared out when you expanded into Aquarius. So I'm going to be talking a lot more about the galactic core. I'm going to be talking more about the great attractor. And again, what I know about both of those is minimal. So I really encourage you to go on YouTube or go, search the internet and just do a mass deep dive into those two influences because those are huge galactic influences. And I'm just going to insert here, I have my Facebook page. It's called the Blue Light Movement. I've written about the star beings. I've written about the Sirians and the Pleiadians and the Lyrans in my blog under intuitivemind.org. And you click on blog, you can read all about it. You can be a part of that page. We are going to be having, oh my gosh, thank you, Warrior Girl, the heart chakra. Forgot to mention that. Okay. So the blue light, we've been talking about it here in the Intuitive Mind office about this expansive blue light that's coming through, that has been coming through, but this is the big one. This is the big one. What was that show? It was, his name was Fox or something or whatever. And he's like telling his wife who'd passed over, this is the big one. This is the big one. And he'd hold his heart. So I'm thanking Warrior Girl, sorry, I'm jumping around, because the heart chakra and the high heart is being activated. So what the high heart is about your life's path and purpose. It's about the truth of why you are here. So not only is the pineal being activated, but the high heart and the heart's being activated as well. It's allowing you to bring through more compassion for yourself and for others around you. I could talk another couple of hours about that one, but thank you, Warrior Girl, because it was in my head, never made it to the paper. Okay. How is this going to show up for you personally? Because remember, it's all about us, right? It's all, we've heard it's all about you, or somebody will say it's all about you, or it's not all about you, but how's it going to show up? So Spirit gave me the example. Have any of you ever kind of gone through a detox where maybe you intend to spend a month on a detoxing program of water, fresh fruits, and vegetable smoothies? And I'm laughing because you only make it 3 days. But have you ever tried to detox from coffee, right? So you get the horrible headaches for a few days and you have to really try to push through it. So Spirit said, when you're going through this cleansing diet of just water, fruits, and veggies, these are all very high frequency things, but your body detoxes. It's like, oh my gosh, I feel achy all over. I have a bad head. You have flu-like symptoms is what it feels like when it's detoxing. And the answer is to hang in there for several days, drink lots of water, and continue to eat those really high frequency fruits and vegetables. So yeah, you're going to have body aches because structures are changing. So in the bones, that's your foundational structure. So body aches, headaches, nausea, huge irritation, agitation. And what Spirit added was you are purging right now. You are purging. Hello, Tara from Australia. You are purging old traumas or times when you were hurt or harmed, or times when you hurt and harmed other people, because you've got that connection. Anybody you've ever hurt or harmed, you're holding part of that trauma as well. And so there's just a big purging, and it's not just here in the United States or in Canada or in our Western cultures. It's all over the world. There's a massive purging of trauma that's happening. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. So you need to be supportive. Find ways that you've been able to support yourself through this big purging that is really going to start happening closer to the 11th of June, a big, big purge. But if you find things that help, share it with other people, We should call this the great sharing. So over the next 5 years, greater heightened levels of intuitive insights will lead to also higher accountability. Do you know what I mean by that? So as people are increasing in intuitive and psychic development, and they're getting really good at it, and you are saying, I'm fine, but you're not fine, people around you are going to know you're not fine. You won't be able to pull that on anybody anymore. Or if you are thinking you don't really like this person, but you're acting like you're liking them, they're going to know you really don't like them. Now, you all feel all this already because we didn't just start developing our intuition this month. It's really been strongly coming through for the last 15 years, the last several years. So just know, start being more accountable for, I hear Spirit say, your free range thinking, your free range thinking. Keep it, keep it clean, keep it clean. So the last thing is Spirit is saying, what's happening here in June is like a fine mist, just a fine mist of water particles versus a hard downpour of hail. This is a fine mist, so it's going to be easier to soak in that higher level of knowledge that's coming from the galactic core, pushing out old archaic thinking. I got it done. I got it done in 30 minutes. However, we're going to do a little meditation. So, if you've been following me for a while, it's all about grounding, and that does not change. But today we're going to do the grounding for sure. But Spirit wants you to really feel that cosmic light of gold and white light and silver, just really slowly coming down. Going to kiss the pineal, and it's just going to flow through your body. So you are in the midst of creating a light body, and so your spirit wants you to really just feel and experience some of the lightness that you're going to experience more over this fantastic month of June. Okay. Go ahead and close your eyes and turn within. And remember, when I described your human body is doing some really heavy lifting right now. It's trying to awaken. It's trying to bring in more light. It's trying to purge all that really rough stuff it's been going through in life. It's cranky, but it doesn't want to be cranky. So just talk to your body with a little bit of love and compassion right now. It's almost like, a dog curling up in your lap or a cat purring, when you talk sweetly to your body. And when your body's cranky and it wants to eat too much sugar, still gotta love it. All right, say hello to your higher wise self. And see if you can tap into just how enormously excited your spirit is, because your spirit's like, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be great. So your spirit is really loving all this. So ask your spirit to help you at that kind of conscious human level to love the changes as well. Just let your spirit know, I need help with this. So help me to learn how to love the changes, love and appreciate the detoxing that's going on. because I know it's leading me to a better life, a better way of living. Nice. Now, as you're bringing through, just knowing that we're going to bring through some high cosmic light frequency, that fine mist of beautiful high level spiritual knowledge. What kind of grounding image do you want to play with today? Do you want to use this big, massive tree with deep, deep roots, or rainbows or waterfalls? What type of image? And then go ahead and ground yourself. Pretend. And if you're very new to my talks, just pretend that you're a tree with roots and it's going all the way down to the magnetic core, and you're going to wrap those roots around that magnetic core. Nice. When your grounding gets backed up or clogged or stuck, you feel exhausted, you feel overwhelmed, because your grounding functions as a drain. So think about your bathtub. If it's clogged, it's going to back up, you know. So just be really gentle and flexible, just expanding your grounding, deepening your grounding, opening your grounding, so that you can start to drain any of the detoxing energies that are releasing right now. Now we're going to bring in this galactic, celestial, cosmic light, and you're just going to allow it to just come from the sun, the moon, the stars, whatever form you want to put it in, or you can just call that light into just flowing down all the way a couple of miles above your head. And that light, like that fine mist, is going to be so easy. It's going to be gentle, gentle, but mighty. So let it just start flowing like 2 miles above your head, and it's just going to start flowing in, cleansing and clearing and detoxing. Let it just flow. All the way down through the multi-dimensional layers. Down through into the room that you're in, right in through the top of your aura. And this bright, bright, fine mist, galactic light is just going to flow all the way down through your aura, your chakras, and your physical, emotional, and mental bodies. And just imagine that it's dissolving old toxins. Great. Down and pass through your head, your brain, your eyes, your ears, your jaw, your neck, your shoulders, arms. Let that fine, mighty mist of cosmic energy flow down into your chest, your heart, your lungs, your diaphragm. Let it start to lightly detox your liver, your gallbladder, pancreas, spleen. It's all tucked up under the diaphragm there, right into your stomach, your intestines, right into your bones and your blood, your nervous system. Nice. Right on into below your navel area, your lower abdomen. It's going to flow through your kidneys. It can flow through uterus, ovaries, prostate. It just flows through everything down into the hips, down through the legs, down through the bottom of your aura, and just send that kind of galactic mist all the way down to the center of the earth. Nice, nice. So, your action step in your meditation this week is just to do this several more times every week for the entire month. It's going to be happening regardless of whether you're conscious of it or not. But if you just, I always say, if you sit and you close your eyes, then your spirit can teach you. So several times this week, sit, close your eyes, let your spirit teach you and bring in that fine mist of that cosmic light to continue to flow through to help it dissolve any toxins. All right, whenever you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes and stretch. Stretch your body, hug your body. And I encourage you this month of June to maybe kind of write down some of the things that you're feeling and experiencing, because there's going to be such a flood of light that by the time you hit June 30th, you might feel and believe or look through a whole different lens at the world than you did at the beginning of this month. That's just how big it is. So we do have our enormous group reading for the solstice that's coming up, and it's going to be on the 18th of June, a few days before. And we're doing lots of fun stuff. And for the VIP bonus, we're going to do some daily, what I call energy shifting symbols each day. I'm going to do that again because it's quite popular and helpful too. So there goes the garbage truck. I know it always makes this honorable mention. The Lord's going to just carry out the garbage, right? All right, everyone, go ahead and make a note. Let me know what that experience was like for you. And hopefully I've sparked a load of excitement, because these are exciting times that we're living in. And I'm glad you're in the river of life with me. All right, take care, everyone. Bye-bye.